Hi, today we are going to discuss about the topic called as abstract class. A class which is declared with the abstract keyword is known as an abstract class in Java. It can have abstract and non-abstract methods also. A class which contains the keyword abstract is called as abstract class. The abstract class contains both the abstract method in the sense the method which contains a only declaration but does not have any definition is called as abstract method, and also a abstract class can contain non-abstract method also. That is non-abstract method in the sense a method with the particular definition. That is a method with the body is called as non-abstract methods. So abstraction is the process of hiding the implementation details and showing only the functionality to the user. So we can define in another way. It shows only the essential things to the user and hides the internal details. For example, when you send the SMS, so where you type the text and send the message, you don't know how the internal processing about the message delivery. So abstraction lets you focus on what the object does instead of how it does. So in order to achieve abstraction, there are two ways. One is through abstract class and another one is through interface. With the help of abstract class, 0 to 100 percentage of abstraction is possible, but in case of interface, 100 percentage of abstraction is possible. This is because the abstract class can contain non abstract methods also. When the abstract class contains non abstract methods, so we can say it is not 100 percentage of abstraction. But the interface, in case of interface, it contains only the method declaration, it does not allow any method definition. So 100 percentage of abstraction is possible through interface. Rules for a Java abstract class. An abstract class must be declared with the keyword abstract. It can have abstract and non abstract methods. So the abstract class cannot be instantiated, and it can have final methods, and also the abstract class can have constructors and static methods also. Have a look on this for few seconds to know the rules for abstract class. So let us have an example. Abstract class shape. Here shape act as abstract class. It contains at least one abstract method. There should be at least one abstract method in the abstract class. So we have one and only the abstract method, that is abstract void draw of. This is called as abstract method because it contains only the declaration part, it does not contain any definition part. So let us have the derived class rectangle, which is going to be inherited from the shape class. For the abstract method declared in the particular abstract class, it is possible to have the definition in the derived class. So void draw of, for the draw of method we have given the definition, that is some println statement drawing rectangle, and we have class circle one, which is going to be inherited from the same abstract class shape. Here we are going to implement once again implement the draw method, that is abstract method. Here the definition says drawing circle. So let us have our main method class. In main method class we have declared the object for the abstract class. So during the rules we have seen that the abstract class cannot be instantiated, so it is not possible to give new shape of. So rather than you can give any derived class constructor here, so you can instantiate with the help of derived class constructor. So shape s equal to, you can give either new circle one of, or you can give new rectangle of. Now s dot draw of will call the corresponding draw method of the particular derived class. Here we have instantiate the memory as new circle one of, so s dot draw of will call the draw method which is available in circle class. If you give shape s equal to new rectangle of in the sense, then s dot draw of will call the draw method which is available in the rectangle class. So have a look on this for few seconds to have a clear cut idea. So now we are going to know that the abstract class having constructor, a data member, and also methods. Let us have the abstract class named as bike. Inside the bike class we are going to define the constructor bike of equal to some system dot println bike is created, and then we are having abstract method, that is abstract void run of. This is called as abstract method because it contains only the declaration and does not contain any definition. And void change gear of, it is non-abstract method because it contains definition. There is system dot out dot println of some message gear changed. So let us have inherited class, that is derived class Honda extends bike. Inside the Honda class we are going to implement the abstract method run. So void run of system dot out dot println of, we are giving some message running safely. So now inside the main method for the abstract class object bike, that is for the abstract class bike we are going to create the object obj, and in order to allocate the memory we can use the derived class constructor, that is new Honda of. Now the memory is instantiated, and obj dot run of will call the run method that is defined in Honda class, that is running safely will be printed, and then object dot change gear of, so the gear changed will be printed. Before that, when you call new Honda of, the new Honda of will call its own constructor. In turn, there is no more constructor inside the Honda class, but the default constructor will be called by the Java compiler, and in turn from the derived class the base class constructor is also be called automatically, so that the bike of constructor will be called automatically because we are going to create the object for the class bike, and but the memory is instantiated for the derived class Honda of, so that the base class constructor will also be called when the memory is instantiated with reference to the derived class. So as a first and foremost, the bike is created will be printed, and in turn running safely, and then a gear changed will print respectively. So now let us get into the concept called as interface. In Java So interface act as a blueprint of a class. It has static constant and abstract methods by default. The interface in Java is a mechanism to achieve 100% of abstraction. So the interface can contain only the abstract methods, which means that it does not contain any method definition. So in order to achieve the 100% of abstraction, and also in order to support the concept of multiple inheritance, we have already discussed that the multiple inheritance through class is not supported in Java, but with the help of interface it is possible to implement the concept of multiple inheritance in Java. So Java interface also represent the same user relationship as same as inheritance. It cannot be instantiated like abstract class. Since Java 8, it is possible to have default and static methods in interface, and since Java 9, we can have private methods also in the interface. Let us discuss how to declare an interface. An interface is declared by using the keyword interface. It provides the 100% of abstraction, which means that all the methods in the interfaces can be declared without any definition, that is with the empty body, and all the fields are public, static, and final by default, which means that the members declared inside the interface are public, static, and final by default, which means that there is no need to give the keyword public or static or final. When you declare some variable as int roll number inside the interface, it will be automatically assigned as public, static, and final. A class that implements the particular interface must implement all the methods that are declared in the interface. So syntax: interface followed by a space and interface name. Within the brace you can give the data field, and also you can declare the methods without body, so that the methods declared are also by default it will be considered as abstract. So the interface are public, static, final by default, and the methods are public and abstract by default. For example, if you give the interface like this: interface, it is a keyword followed by printable, this is the user defined name, and within the brace there is a data member int min equal to 5, and then void print of, this is the method without definition. The compiler will automatically assigns and understands this variable min as public, static, and final. Final means constant, that is the min equal to 5 cannot be changed at any account. And then similarly the void printf will be understand by the compiler as public, abstract, void printf. So when we define the relationship between the classes and interfaces, so when we want to inherit a new class from the existing class, we have to use the extends keyword. And similarly, when you want to relate the interface and class, then you have to use the keyword implements. And if you want to derive a interface from the existing interface, then you can use the keyword extends. Have a look on this for a few seconds to understand clearly. So let us have an example: interface, printable, and within the brace we have given an abstract method, that is void printf. Class A6, this is a class name, and implements is the keyword in order to relate the class with the interface. Implements followed by the interface name printable, and within that class you can define the method void printf, that is public void printf. That method can be defined with some println statement hello, and it is in the main method. Let us create the object for the class A6, and when you call obj.printf, it will print hello. So we have already discussed, since Java 8 we can have default and static methods in an interface. So let us have interface followed by interface name, and within that interface let us have the default method default void new method of. So for the particular default method, it is possible, that is from Java 8 the interface also allows to have the method definition. So the default act as an access specifier. We have already seen that there are 4 access specifiers supported in Java, that is private, public, protected, and default access specifier. The default method, in the sense the method with a default access specifier, will be default method. Here the definition is given, and then the static methods is also possible. So static void another new method of, within that it is also have the definition, and void existing method, this will be considered as abstract method because it does not contain any definition. So public class example implements my interface. Now we are going to implement the interface in the particular class example, and for the existing method, that is abstract method, we are going to give the definition. So some string is str. Within the main method we are going to declare and instantiate the object for the class example, and we can have object, we can call object dot new method of. Now the default method will be called, a newly added default method will print, and you can also call the static method. We are all well known that the static method can be called without an object. So with the help of interface name itself we can call the static method, that is my interface dot another new method of. So newly added static method will be called, and then obj dot existing method of. Java 8 is easy to learn is the string we are going to pass. So the output will print string is Java 8 is easy to learn. Have a look on this slide for a few seconds for better understanding. let us have another example. So let us have interface and interface name. My interface in Java 9 is the interface name, and let us have default method, default void method of. For that we are going to call the method print lines of. This is another method. We are going to call a method from the method, and we are having some message system.out.println of. This is method 1, and then default void method 2. In method 2 also we are going to call the method print lines of, and system.out.println. This is method 2. Now we have to know what is mean by print lines of. The print lines of is the private method. From Java 9 we have discussed that the interface, in the interface it is allowed to have the private methods also. So as we are all well known that the private methods cannot be accessed outside the class, so that we are going to call the private method within the class itself. And let us have the definition system.out.println of starting method and some message doing something. So after that, in public class Java example, this is the Java example is the class which is going to implement the interface my interface in Java 9, and within that let us have the main method. And for Java example let us create the object JE, and from JE it is possible to call JE.method1. When we call JE.method1, in JE.method1 we are going to call print lines of, so that in print line of starting method and doing something will be printed. After that this is method 1 will be printed. And similarly we can call here JE dot method to off. So when you call the method to off, it will again calls the print lines of, so that again starting method and doing something will be print. After that this is method 2 will also be printed. So have a look on this for few seconds to have better understanding. Here the interface, my interface in Java 9 is somewhat cutted. It is somewhat invisible. So the first line is interface, my interface in Java 9. After open brace, default void method 1 of is there, and then followed by the various lines. So references, tutorial point Java T point W3 schools and programmies. These are all the websites I have referred to understand the concept of abstract class and interface of Java. You can also refer those sites, and you can also refer some more sites also. So by this let us wind up the session. Thank you all.